So I think this plot is going to be sort of a battle between Amelie and Higgs, with them both inhabiting different vessels to fight that fight. If you want to find out more about that theory, either stick around to the end of the video or just skip ahead to the end and then you hear all the details. First off, I can instantly disprove any of you that think this is a flashback, right? See the Bridges logo all the way up here on the left of the toy. That's the newer Bridges logo. So that would place this in a very weird position between Fragile's backstory and the start of the first game if this was a flashback, which it's not. Because you can also see it as a I Heart VV logo there, which was actually on Hideo Kojima's jacket during the Game Awards. Also, this is not sticker or design that's been seen before, so I don't think it's going to be a flashback. Also has a crab and a car there, which were featured in the first game, so most likely it will be set after. Again, with the handprints above the two, probably set after. Now, with this sort of effigy sort of statue thing, I think it's supposed to be Amelie with some like sort of little angel wings, or some people have pointed out, actually, if you turn it upside down, it is a sunrise. So like an inverted sunrise, like with the symbology of using the inverted rainbow in the first game. And you can also see the little sort of structure behind her head represents the structure that they're walking to. Also, the colour red is associated with Amelie. And here as well, they are carrying a sarcophagus, which is most likely to do with Higgs, as he has a lot to do with Egyptian mythology. I will get more into my theory about this later when Higgs is sort of revealed. That's another thing as well. That's almost definitely Lou. If you didn't know the BB from the first game. Also, angel wings as well, just like the effigy. I think she might be linked to that and be like the antithesis to the extinction entity, or maybe Lou is the next extinction entity. Something along those lines where Higgs might be trying to get the powers of Amelie, or cause another extinction because connection has went too far and he wants to destroy that. And Lou represents the last sort of hope of connection. Also, the fake sky in here probably shows that they've been underground for quite a while, showing that the after effects at the end of the first game have been going on for quite a while now. So that would say to me it's at least a couple months, if not a couple years after the first game, probably leaning on the side of a couple of years. Also, definitely not a flashback because Sam's dreamcatcher is there. How would she get that if she hadn't met Sam?
So let love warm you till the morning.
Also, we've got again back from the trailers from last year where the transitions here are the baby blinking. And you'll see later in the trailer that once she's lost to Lou, that no longer happens. And so I think that symbolises that she has the same connection to Lou that Sam did in the first game. Maybe explaining her being a repatriate now. Or potentially it's set in another dimension where she is the Sam character in her dimension. It is sort of hard to predict. We're trying.
You by your side.
We see her again. I'm not sure if other people have pointed this out, but she is crying in this scene, which could probably represent that these people that are coming after Lou have something to do with the other side, with BTs, because chirology only comes about when in the presence of BTs or something from the other side. So that could represent more that these guys are to do with Higgs, or they have a high extinction factor like Higgs did, and they're able to control BTs or have some sort of connection with the other side. This is still something that we've not figured out in the first game, why it cuts to a baby after you repatriate. And whether that baby is the BB you're holding, or whether it's you, or what is going on there. You can see that it's crying tar, which could sense that something's wrong, or maybe the balance between life and death has changed once again. My theory is that Fragile leaving Higgs in Amelie's beach has sort of upset the balance a bit, and she sort of traded Higgs's life for her own, thus severing her own connection to the other side, making herself a repatriate as well. And that would also explain the tar coming out of her eyes, showing that she's gotten that repatriatism through like ill means. We already know, however, that Lou is a repatriate because it is implied at the end of the first game that Lou did die, and the only reason she's still alive is that Amelie made it so. And as we know, that Sam becoming repatriate basically set in motion the Death Stranding. So maybe that would start in motion a second Death Stranding here.
Hear your heartbeat.
And these cryptobiotes were noticed to be different. I think that just might explain Fragile curing the Timefall. I think they just reverse the effects. They're just more powerful cryptobiotes. Also, Lou appearing on the pod here just might symbolise that she's a repatriate. I can't read too much more into it. Like, again, it could feed into my theory that Fragile got a repatriatism through, like, stranding Higgs.
Baby, don't worry. It's okay.
So, as well with Drawbridge, using the stick and the rope, maybe I think Sam and Fragile are going to try to keep only the bare minimum of connections, because it was stated in the first game that basically trying to form all the chiral connections caused the Death Stranding because they were becoming too greedy with connecting to the other side. So maybe the solution is to have connection in parallel with actual real life physical connection. Whereas Higgs is probably trying to completely demolish the connections to start afresh.
For such
Sam's hair here. My theory is that in the first game, it was assumed we delayed the Death Stranding, but maybe Amelie saving Lou caused that not to happen. And so when they walked out into the Timefall at the end, it did actually age them. But obviously it was only hitting Sam's hair, so it only aged his hair. It's my theory. Also, you can see the little squid logo on the side of the ship. That was referenced in the posters. I would assume one of Shirley Katsuna's or Elle Fanning's character is probably on the ship. It also says Magellan on the side of the ship, which is just a reference to an oceanic explorer, which is further like most people think that this game is going to have sort of water exploration, so I think that's just all that is.
Come meet my crew, Sam.
So it looks like Fragile here is looking after Lou. So I think Fragile and the crew on the ship are probably trying to keep Lou safe, whereas Sam is probably going for a more... like in the first game, he was quite a pacifist, only wanting to connect people, but I think in this game he might have some sort of vendetta against Higgs trying to kill Lou, or Higgs taking or killing Lou, actually succeeding. And so that might set him to go off on his own. And hear what Higgs says about the UCA and APAC. I think that's more of a reference to basically real life, in that like these sort of social medias aren't for anyone to gain apart from these private corporations. And in the universe, it probably just means that the UCA doesn't have quite so noble as intentions as they first seem to. And whereas Sam and Fragile might take quite a conciliatory approach to that, Higgs will just want to burn it to the ground. And his look here, I think it was Amelie's body in a sarcophagus. And because he was stranded on her beach, and as we know, the only connection from the other side to the living world is from their soul to their body, their heart and their car. So Higgs' only way back would be through Amelie's body. So I think they took her body and infused it with like cyborg parts in order to allow his spirit to come back into her body without causing a necrotism, which would cause a crater. And also he is able to inhabit her body without her trying to fight back, is my theory. And a lot of other people have been saying maybe he's sharing the body of Amelie. You never know. But it's definitely Amelie's body as well, because the Kipu, as well as the colours on the suit, red and gold representing Higgs and red representing Amelie. So I think them being combined could hold some weight. Right, okay, so I just thought of a new theory. So basically, BB in the pod is red, which is obviously Amelie's colour. And if we're going off my theory that Higgs is actually inhabiting Amelie's body now, then Amelie's soul is stranded. So the only way for her to get back is through a vessel. And I think she's going to use Lou because she repatriated Lou. And so Lou already has a tentative connection to the other side. So it would be easy for her to get back in through there. And that could also explain the octopus, because Amelie is still sort of on her beach and connecting to someone else's body. And so some remnants of her beach might manifest themselves through Lou. And that also has implications for the overall plot with Higgs sort of versus Amelie and where Fragile, Sam and the other characters fit into this. This is something I will tackle in the next video. So if you want to see that, like this one, subscribe.